All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakwak Radash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the full elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening on to His truth with heart sincerity. All right, and may the blessing of election be upon your houses. All right, the title and topic of this lesson is going to be, all right, they will be flocking when shit hits the fan. All right, these people will be flocking, to the men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Al Shah, to the prophets when shit hits the fan. When things get real out here, that's when you're gonna see a lot of these people, start flocking towards, the men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Al Shah. All right, I did a quick, search here on Chat GPT. Just typed in people lack a seriousness until, SHTF, which stands for shit's the fan. I did a little typo there on seriousness, but nevertheless, this is what ChatGPT gave back, right? And it says it often feels that way. It says many people don't take risks seriously until something forces them to. And that is the mindset of majority of people in Babylon, right? They do not take anything seriously. They take the prophets on the highways and hedges as a joke. They take the warnings that we are giving them from Yahweh Ba'Shem Shah as a joke, right? That's how our people are, right? They do not take it seriously, right? Continuing on, it says psychologists sometimes call this normalcy bias, the tendency to assume things will continue as they have, even when warning signs are clear, until shit hits the fan, a crisis hits. Inconvenience feels hypothetical once its real behavior changes fast. And that is how majority of our people are in Babylon, America, right? They do not believe that, shit will hit the fan. They think Babylon will continue on as normal scheduled program. All right, that's that normalcy bias in this place, man. And once shit hits the fan, once all the warnings that we have been giving these people come to pass, right, then you're gonna see them in the mindset of, oh shit, those guys were right. Oh shit, they were warning us about this. We gotta go find them. Where did they go? You always see this in certain type of apocalyptic movies. There's always that guy that's standing on the street before the destruction comes, holding up a sign and saying the end is near, warning the people, but they're just brushing him off, thinking he's a crazy guy, thinking he's bugged out, until the shit really happens. And that is how majority of people in Babylon are, right? Especially Jake, right? When it comes down to the prophets on the highways and hedges, we are looked at as a form of entertainment to our people, man, right? As a joke, but yet they know there is truth behind these words. There is a warning from Yahweh Ba'Shem Al Shah, behind these words, man. These people lack true, sincere seriousness, fear in the Heavenly Father. All right. Because back in the ancient days, when a prophet would go somewhere, the people would take it very seriously. They would be afraid because they understand that they had a message from Yahweh Ba'Shem Al Shah. Right? But here it is. These people don't have that seriousness. They don't have that fear. Right? They have, like it says here, the tendency to assume things will continue as they always have. All right, I'm gonna grab this before I read a little bit more on this. This is Ezekiel 33 and 33, and it reads, "And when this cometh to pass, lo will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them." Right? So a lot of these people, they not gonna truly understand and see them and believe what we're telling them until it happens. Right? It's like if you have a child and you tell your child, hey, don't play with the stove. The stove is hot. You're going to burn yourself. But they pay you no mind. They still put their hand on that stove. And then they're like, they got burned. They're going to then realize, like, damn, my mom and my dad was right. They told me not to touch the stove. It was hot. It was going to burn me. That's the same type of spirit majority of our people are going to be in when shit hits the fan in this place, man. Because this warning has been going out. We have been blowing these spiritual trumpets, beginning with our apostles and elders on down, for decades, right? But yet our people still aren't taking heed. They're still focused on the bullshit of Babylon America. They're still focused on, trying to, build in this place, thinking this place is their kingdom, right? Thinking that this is their rest, right? Ultimately, getting drunk off that Babylonian wine. This place loves utilizing bread and circuses. I'm gonna go back to this right here, right? And it says a few reasons this happens, right? It says comfort breeds complacency. If systems, food, power, jobs, safety usually work, it's hard to emotionally process their failure. And that's the problem with our people in Babylon America. They believe that, the food, the jobs, the quote unquote safety, right? The electrical system and so forth is not going to stop working because it's always working. These people have the ability to get up at any moment they want, go to the store that's 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away, shit, eat some even less, walking distance away, go to a grocery store and get whatever they need. You have these apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash where you could lay back in your bed and off of a click of a button at any hours of the day, you could order food at your front door, right? You could wake up and switch the lights and the lights are on. You could charge your phone. You could use the flash on your phone, right? You could go and clock into your job and get your bread. You have that quote unquote sense of safety in this place, man, right? And the people, right? Our people in this place believe that these things would never fail, right? Because like it says it's hard to emotionally process their failure, right? Because they believe it will always be there. However, that is a false comfort that Babylon produces and pushes throughout this place. Because very soon, those quote unquote luxuries or those comfort are going to be gone. And right, famine is coming. There's going to be blackouts. There's going to be, lack of work. And we're already seeing a decrease in the workforce. People are having to work 3-4 jobs, 2 jobs, multiple part-time jobs, having to do gig work on the side just to make a living, right? Wickedness waxing worse in this place. Safety damn near out the window in this place. All these people doing mass shootings, right? Continue on, right? It says social proof. If no one else seems worried, individuals downplay concern, right? And we live in a society of a monkey see, monkey do type of thing, where people lack the ability to think for themselves, in other terms, right? To think independently, right? So if their friends and all their buddies and families like, oh, it'll be all right, or if their favorite celebrity says it, then they'll be, in tune with that, man, right? They don't want to hear the truth, right? They want to live in that false illusion, that false comfort, right? But once shit hits the fan, then they're gonna be flocking to the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, right? I'm gonna grab this in Isaiah. The 30th chapter, verse 9 reads that this is a rebellious people, lying children that would not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. And that's how our people are for you, man. They're a rebellious, stiff-necked people, man, that do not want to hear the truth, that would rather choose to hear, lies and deceits than to hear the actual truth of the matter. And that's ultimately, gonna lead them, to their demise, to their destruction. And that's also gonna show you why, so many people in these final days is gonna be flocking. All right, when I tell you flocking, they're gonna be flocking to the many Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Especially once they see, the Lord bestowing them spiritual powers upon his elect. Hey, these people are going to be flocking. All right. And at this time, hey, some people, hey, you're going to see different things, man. Some people, they just not going to get it, man. You're going to see these scoffers trying to come back around, right? You're going to see old Eves you dealt with trying to come back around, right? Hey, it's going to be a sight to see. Because of some of these people, hey, our tongues are going to be cleaving to the rules of our mouth. All right? Best believe you're going to see a lot of these scoffers in these final days trying to come back around. Especially when they see more and more prophecy come to pass. Right? You're going to see a lot of these fallouts trying to come back around. All right? But when shit truly hits the fan in this place, these people are going to be flocking. And also, a couple more points it has. It says optimism bias, right? It won't happen to me. And that is the illusion that Babylon America constantly pushes onto the masses. Because you have this Western media, right? This mainstream media, right? Like the CNNs, NBCs, and so forth, right? That really shelters a lot of these Babylonians from what's, the reality of the state of the world, the reality of the state of Babylon, right? Because our people will see what's going on in these other various nations throughout the four corners of the world, and they believe that won't be a reality for them, right? I did a lesson on this recently. These Babylonians, they live in a bubble, right? They don't really know the reality or the true state of the world. They don't know that war and destruction is literally around the corner, getting ready to knock out their front door. Until shit hits the fan. Then they're gonna flock. Then they're gonna try to, get right, search for the men of the Lord. Like it says in Amos the 8th chapter, right? And I'm gonna grab it real quick. It says, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I would send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And that's what's about to be reality in this place, right? You're not going to be able to come across the many Yahweh Shema Shah on the highways and hedges or on the YouTube, right? They're already striking videos down. They're already shadow banning brothers, deleting pages, right? Various countries are already passing, certain laws to censor what could be posted on the internet, right? So it's already getting ready to go in that direction. Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So these people are going to be bugging out, trying to find the word, trying to find the prophets. That's why it's very crucial and important to get right now while you can. Take the liberty while you still have the opportunity to seek Yahweh Shema Shah, to repent, to get right, to get these breakdowns before it's too late, to get this proper understanding before it's too late. All right. Let me hit these last couple bullet points. And it says a cognitive load. Daily life already feels overwhelming. Preparing for unlikely events to get deprioritized. Short-term incentives, immediate rewards often outweigh long-term preparedness, right? And it gives you a couple examples, right? It says before the 2008 financial crisis, many dismiss housing risk. All right. So before that whole housing market crash, people was just, paying it no mind. All the signs was there. All right. And it says what? Before COVID-19, right? Before the C-19, right? It said, pandemic preparedness warnings weren't widely acted on. Before natural disasters like Hurricane Katrina, evacuation orders were often ignored. Interestingly, once a crisis hits, the same people who seemed unserious can become extremely adept and resourceful, right? But nevertheless, the point being is that before a lot of these major events happened, there was a lot of warnings, right? But yet the people did not take heed to them, right? Until it was too late, until the actual event occurred, right? And that's what's going to be a reality in this place, man. You see that in the apocalyptic movies. People don't take heed. They don't take it seriously until shit hits the fan. Now they're out here running around like a chicken with his head cut off, man. Right? And we can even look at the times of Noah, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to get that because I already got it here, right? In Matthew, the 24th chapter, verse 37, it reads, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark." Right? So they were just living it up, partying, having fun. You know, that calm before the storm, not taking heed to the warning, right? Thinking it was all a game, the same way people are in today's day and age, man. Right? You have the men on the highways and hedges as warning, blowing them spiritual trumpets, telling you of the imminent destruction to come. But they're still living it up, having fun. All right, you know, being harlots, you know, and being adulterers, being niggas, being wicked. All right, committing all types of wickedness out here, and not even batting an eye to pay attention to the warning and the destruction to come. Until what? Until the shit hits the fan. Right? Verse 39 says, "And knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." And this is what's about to be a reality in Babylon, America, man. So once shit hits the fan, prepare to see a lot of people flocking. All right. But hey, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this was edifying unto the elect of Israel. With that being said, I'll give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Kodash. That belongs to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the full elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening on to this truth with heart sincerity. Until next time, shalom, and a ball, Kwame Ashrala, shalom.